everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having an amazing day. So it's been a while since I've filmed anything. I'm going to try this year to be more consistent with YouTube because I don't know why I haven't been consistent in a while, because I absolutely love making videos and I love editing them and I love everything about like YouTube and just, you know, anything that has to do with making videos. So I'm going to try to make more videos this year, especially book related videos, because I love books and I love booktube and I love book talk and bookstagram and all of that. So if you're interested in watching more book videos, you can subscribe if you want to. So today I'm going to share with you all the books I read in 2023. I read 22 books, which was not a good reading year for me. I wanted to read 28 books, but then I ended up changing my reading challenge a while ago because it was stressing me out that I knew I wasn't going to reach 28 books. So I set for 22 and I did reach that goal. So, you know, you win some, you lose some, you know. In 2022 I read 31 books, which was actually much more than I was expecting. I set my goal for 25 and I read 31. So then in 2023 I set my goal for 28. It was actually like downgrading because it's like I'm probably not gonna read more than 31. I'm gonna set for 28 and I couldn't even reach that goal. So it was a bad reading year for me, but reading cannot be stressful for me. So even though I don't like to change my reading challenge, I did it this year because, you know, I want it to be enjoyable. I'm gonna show you the books now. I read 7,405 pages. My average rating was 4.6 because I really don't like to leave my comfort zone when it comes to books. So I usually just go for books that I definitely know I'm going to enjoy, and so that's why I have a lot of 5 stars and 4 stars and stuff like that. There are only like a few that I actually step out of my comfort zone. And sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. So I started the year with a reread of one of my favorite books, which is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I've read that book 5 times. Love it. It's one of my comfort books. Also comfort movies, you know, anything Harry Potter related I love. So yeah, and I would show you the book right now, but I have no idea where I put it because my shelves are way too full for the books that I own. So like I have books in boxes, I have books like overflowing the shelves, I have books everywhere in my room. So until I get new shelves that I really need, everything's a mess. There's just books everywhere. So, and series that are separated, which is the case of Harry Potter. The next book I also don't know where it is. It's Ronin Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I started the series in 2021. I loved this trilogy so much, and I also loved Ronin Rising as the final book. I really liked the ending, and yeah. Then I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I read this in February, which was when the self-published edition came out. It's now published by Simon & Schuster, and it's available in paperback, hardback. There's also Barnes & Noble edition, which I've been looking for everywhere, but I can't find in my country. And Barnes & Noble doesn't ship to the European Union for some reason, so I couldn't buy it when it came out. However, I do have like a very precious edition, self-published edition, hardcover. I loved it so much. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I actually have a video of me reacting to it and reading it. I'll leave the link somewhere in here. And yeah, I absolutely adore this book and I cannot wait for the sequel. So yeah, I feel like it's my biggest flex that I own the self-published edition of this book. Yeah, I love it so much. I read Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I really love this book. It was so good, and I love the heist and the found family, and yeah, I love this book. I actually do own the sequel, but I haven't picked it up for some reason. But I will definitely soon this year, and probably even it will even probably be one of the first books of the year. So I really love this book. I highly recommend it. Next, I read the Lightning Thief book by Rick Riordan, and this is actually a reread. Sorry, I read this one a few years ago, and I loved it so much. I absolutely love Percy Jackson, and yeah, it just makes me so freaking happy. And the show actually started a few weeks ago, and I love it every single week. Like, I'm absolutely obsessed with the show. It makes me so happy. I actually cried when the first episode came out. I was obsessed with it. I am obsessed with it, and actually every Wednesday I go on a hunt for blue snacks. If you know, you know. And yeah, I eat blue snacks every Wednesday now because of Percy Jackson. Anyways, then I read this very short book which is called Grief is the Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. I didn't really like this book. I was hoping I would because I needed this book at the time that I read it, but I didn't. Let me show you what I wrote in my review, which was quite small. I said 2.5 stars. I really wanted to like this as I'm very interested in reading about grief at the moment, but I couldn't get into it. It's super short. I could have easily finished in a day, but I had to stop multiple times, and it took me like 3 days to finish it. This premise with the crow had so much potential, but it was boring and basically nothing happened. The only pages I actually enjoyed were like the last 2 pages. Not even joking, and I felt zero connections with the characters, which is 100% true, and I don't even remember what happened in this book, to be honest. Like, it just didn't stick with me. But obviously this is my opinion, so if you have a different one, I 100% respect it, and I really hope whoever reads this book likes it, because I want people to be happy. Next, I read The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan, also 5 stars, also loved it. You know how I feel about Percy Jackson, so love it so much. Next, I read an ebook. This is also available on as a paperback, I think, but I read the free version where the author first published this book, which is on Wattpad, and it's called Lockdown in London Lane, and I felt I didn't really like it. I never actually read it in quarantine, so I decided that I would just like get it over with this year, and I even think it doesn't have like 100% of the content on Wattpad, so I just want to make that disclaimer that I read the Wattpad version and not the paperback version. I'm gonna read you the review. What made me give it 2.5 stars instead of a solid 2 was Ethan and Charlotte. They were literally the only characters I liked and actually remembered. I did not like the rest of the characters, and I don't even remember most of their names. However, I did think this was a very interesting concept, and I actually like the COVID setting in lockdown, even though I usually don't enjoy when media like books or TV shows include COVID in the story. So yeah, I actually did enjoy that part of the book, but it was just the characters that fell flat for me, so yeah. Then I read Again But Better by Christine Riccio. This book has been on my TBR for so many years, probably since 2018 or something, I don't know. And I've been following Christine for a really long time too. I decided to read this year because I was studying abroad in the beginning, so I wanted to read it I wanted to read a book about a girl studying abroad while I was studying abroad, even though she went a lot further away from her home than I did, but it doesn't matter. I still enjoyed it. I remember I liked the second half much more than the first half. I thought the first half was like kind of but then it got much better in the second half, and yeah, I liked it. It was 4 stars. After that book, I read The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I really love this book. It was so good, and I cannot wait to read the rest of the series. I remember feeling like I knew what was going to happen, but then I was wrong. There were things I was like, oh, this person or this thing is probably going to be important, and then I changed my mind like, oh, maybe it's not going to be important, but then it was. So that was like really cool, and the ending was crazy. Like that's what I remember about this book, and I can't wait to read the rest of the series. Then after that, I went on vacation and read Beach Read by Emily Henry. I loved this book so much. I remember crying, laughing, just like I absolutely love this. This was my second Emily Henry book ever, and she's already one of my favorite authors of all time. She's an autobi author right now, and I just love this book so much. One of my favorite books of all time. Loved it so much. Literally, that's literally all I can say about it. Like, then I started reading Book Lovers, but also by Emily Henry, also when I was on vacation, and about halfway through I was so in love with her characters that I looked up more things about them, and I found out that she has on her website like a little book that is also on her Goodreads, which is very short. I think on Goodreads it says it's considered like 9 or 10 pages. I'm not sure. It's very short, but I did also count it for my Goodreads. Both of these get 5 stars. Love them so much. I did definitely prefer Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation over Book Lovers, but it's also 5 stars because I absolutely loved these people, these characters, the setting, everything. On the layover, I was completely freaking out because I'm not gonna say why, but if you've read all 3 books and then read the layover, you'd understand what I'm talking about. I loved it, and I need the layover to be like developed into an actual like book this size, you know. Would love that. Then I read How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. I read the Cruel Prince trilogy last year, and I'm absolutely in love with that series. And so this year I finally read How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I love Carden so much. He's one of my top book boyfriends. I love him so much. Also, this book is fucking gorgeous. Like, it has all these, like, first the map, amazing, and it has like all these illustrations throughout the book, and oh, look at that, stunning. I just love this book so much. Sometimes I just pick it up, look at the pictures, and love it so much. The art is amazing. Then I read The Titan's Curse by Rick Riordan. You already know how I feel about Percy Jackson. 5 stars too. Then I read Death Note by Tsugumi Oba. So I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. And the art is by Takeshi Obata. I like this book. This was my first ever manga, and I liked it, but also you know, it was it was what it was. I will try to read the second volume. This is the black edition, so it has like both the first volumes, but I'm definitely going to try to read the second volume of the black edition. Also, it's really, I really like it's really cool. I don't know. Then I read Normal People by Sally Rooney. I actually have the Waterstones edition because I got it on Vinted and for actually a really good price, and I'm so happy that I did that because it's quite like damaged obviously, but it was an excellent price, so I did not care. I love this book so much. Like, look at that, stunning, loved it. And I really love this book. I definitely will be reading more books by Sally Rooney. The hype is deserved. I just adore this book, and actually wanted to start the TV show because I know that there's a Normal People TV show, but it's not anywhere in my country. It's not on Amazon, it's not on Disney, it's not on Netflix, it's not anywhere. Then I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes right before I went to watch the movie. It was like, I think a week before I watched the movie, but yeah, I loved the book. It was like 4 stars because I don't think it was as good as the Hunger Games books, but I loved it. It was really nice. And the movie actually was a really good adaptation of the book. I still have the book very vividly in my mind because I had just finished it. It was a very good adaptation in my opinion. Apparently there's 2 versions of the movie in theaters. There's like a really long version and the one that has less scenes, but from what I've seen, I think I saw the longer version and I really liked it. The movie definitely made me like snow more. You probably know why. I'm sorry, but yeah, I still hate snow and I will never forgive him, no matter how many excuses this movie and book gave us. Then I read The Long Game by Elena Armas. I loved this book. I loved every single book by Elena Armas that I've read, and I'm so in love with Cameron Caldani. I just yeah. Then I read This Winter by Alice Oseman. I love this book and I feel like I need therapy because I related to Charlie a little bit too much. But anyways, it was 5 stars. Loved the Heartstopper universe. I love Heartstopper so much. I was literally thinking yesterday that I wanted to rewatch the show because it's a comfort show and I love it so much, and I cannot wait to watch season 3 and I can't wait to read more books in the Heartstopper series, even though it's going to end soon, unfortunately. But yeah. Then I read Heartstopper Volume 4 and I absolutely loved it. It was so good, like every single Heartstopper volume, and it's another 5 stars. Let's talk about the last book I read this year, which was also one of my favorites of the entire year and one of my favorites of my whole life. I am so obsessed with this book. It's literally been my whole personality for the past few weeks since I finished it, and it's Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. You don't understand. I am obsessed with these characters and this world and everything. I love Violet and Xaden so much, especially Xaden. He literally like jumped to first place on my book boyfriends list. He's probably tied with someone, and this book is also tied with probably 2 other books in first place. These 2 books are like tied in first place with the Harry Potter books because I am obsessed. And by the way, Kai and Zayden are my book boyfriends. Like, they're tied in first place. I love them so much. And Carton is, if he's not tied also with them, he's number 2. But I don't know if he's tied. I honestly don't know, but like these two are number 1. My babies. And also the female main characters, Peyton and Violet, are also 2 of my favorite ever main characters. I love them so much. These books are literally everything to me. I'm so in love with them. These books are literally my whole personality right now. I actually ordered Iron Flame when I was about halfway through this book, so as you can see, I was already loving it, and but unfortunately I was not at home when the second book arrived, and I ended up finishing this one. And then because I didn't want to like stop reading just to wait for Iron Flame, I started another book. But now I'm home, so I'm like going through that book like super fast so I can finally start Iron Flame, which I'm so excited about. And then I'm going to be sad because I'm gonna have to wait for book 3, but it's fine. It's fine. I know that there will be at least 5 books, so that makes me really happy. I hope you got some recommendations on this video, and if you didn't, that's okay. If you did read some of these books, I would love to know your opinion on them. Even if it's completely contrary to my opinion, I love to know different opinions, respectful opinions of other people. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you on my next one. Bye!